Welcome to Armchair Safari, the place where we daily or almost daily find a really nice design online and then we try to learn from it to become better designers ourselves. So today we're going to be learning from Nitish Kagwai. Sorry about butchering the name. Nitish Kagwai's excellent running widget that he posted on X quite a while ago now, I think. So usually we run through this by going through what is good about this design, what is bad about this design, and the most important test, is this useful for the end user? But we start with just the first impression. What does this feel like to you? Oh man, I love that. Oh yeah. Oh my God, yes. Yes. There's something about this like super slick animation that just feels, it gives me the Steve Jobs vibes. It makes me feel like a button so good you want to lick it. And this, let's slow it down a little bit and have a look at it a little bit slower. So we're pulling the indicator for how many miles we're going to run, and then we can begin the run, and we have a top right indicator to probably open the app. Okay, so what is good about this? So really loving the retro vibe. It's very, very calming to have this like warm gray shade to it. It's also really calming that nothing is 100% white or 100% black. Everything has high contrast or high enough contrast, but it's not so high that it's like daggers into your eyes. That's really, really nice. I also love the fact that the interaction here is implied, meaning however you touch this, whatever you think when you're looking at this, you're gonna touch it, and as soon as you touch it, it is immediately evident. So this is a UI where the affordance of how to use it is not necessarily implied visually, but it doesn't need to be, because this is a UI that you can explore very easily and immediately discover how it's used. And as an ex-game designer, I love having things where you can discover how to use them. It's not necessary to use them, but you can discover how to use them. So in this case, it's a widget, right? So you would normally have an app where you could probably set this, but when you add the widget, there's no need for an explanation, because if you can't figure it out, you're not going to use the widget, and that's fine. You don't need to. But it's just a nice little detail to discover and explore. I love things like that. All right, so that's very good. What else is good? So the visual hierarchy is super good. We have a really strong indication of how long you want to run, and the button begin run with the icon or the glyph to it. It's very, very nice. What else is good? The relative contrast between the miles indicator and the miles label is very, very good. The relative contrast between the distance scroll bar and the distance indicator, also very, very good. The button has a very, very nice use of corner radii here. As you can see, the button fills the radii, the corner of the widget perfectly, while not necessarily retaining the same shape. So it has a much, much bigger corner radii down here than up here, and it just looks absolutely perfect. And with this like very calm, very soft sort of appearance, that works excellently. If this had had a very strong contrast, that would look wonky as hell, but it doesn't, so this looks great. Okay, that's the good. What is the bad? Okay, let's think about this. Well, the first thing is, of course, that this is on a very beige background to make it feel even calmer and nicer. If this was on like my iPhone background, this would probably be quite yellow. It would probably be a little bit weird. The top right indicator has a transparency to it, which in the context of everything else is just kind of odd. Since it doesn't really need to look like that. It's not an error, but it does look a little bit weird. Maybe actually the mouse label also has some sort of transparency looking feel to it. It's a slightly odd choice. I would probably go with the aeroglyph itself. Maybe have another button looking like the begin run button. I'm sure that Nitish tried that, so maybe that just doesn't work at all. So who knows? But this is something that could be wrong or could be interesting to explore. Another really interesting thing here is how the font actually interacts with the shapes in this design. So this is really nitpicking, right? But we're here to become experts in design. So you want the nitpicks, right? Right? Yeah, thought so. So the dot in the miles indicator between the 0 and the 3, and now the 1 and the 2, 3, it's square with sharp corners, and those are the only sharp corners in the entire design. So, like, super nitpicky, but maybe we could find a font that has a round decimal indicator or dot in it. That would probably lift this to another level a little bit. Another bad thing here is that the button has the same color as the background, so it is a little bit. It's a little bit obfuscating, like, how noticeable the button really is. This brings me, of course, to the final and most important point every day here at Armchair Safari, where we try to look at design and learn from it. The most important thing always is this useful for the end user, or is this just a nice design somebody did? So in this case, the widget itself is probably super useful, the action, super useful. Is this design made to be used though? No, it is not. With this background and with the very subtle, like, drop shadow looking border thing here to the widget, this is clearly made for presentation or for sharing online and getting views, which Nitish did 33,000 views on this so far. So well done, Nitish. But it's not used as an actual example of what this design would look like in real life. So it's beautiful, but it's not useful. The design itself is both beautiful and useful, but we don't know what it would actually look like. Again, if we had a real background here, a wallpaper beneath it, we could see what it would actually look like. But, you know, can't have everything. It's just super beautiful. If I had a running app and Nitish had brought this to me, I would tell them, like, dude, this is great, but we need a background where we can actually see how this would look like to the end user. But as opposed to Next, beautiful as a presentation to the board over the investors. Excellent. All I can say, Nitish, is this is freaking awesome. Well done. Great use of border radii. It is just so slick how they fit together. Really cool. All right, awesome. So that's all we can learn from Nitish Tide's border radii and its running widget today. Have a good night, and tomorrow is Friday, so tomorrow we're going to try to do something fun. If you have a fun design that we should review tomorrow, let me know. Just post it on X. And if you're looking for Nitish design, you can find it in the description below or in the next post. Have a good one.